All right, so let's get started on today. I know Igor wants to pop in around 10:30. So let's run through a few things today if we can. And in about the next 10-15 minutes, we'll try to make it as quick as possible to run through everything. So let's take a quick look at the markets. Yet another new high on the S&P. For the market that just does not want to take a break. So maybe that was the break. That's it. Came back down and off and running. I still think we need a bigger break, but maybe that's enough to see a couple down days, and then we sail higher. So we'll see what happens on those. Anyway, if you take a look down here too, you can see the S&P is in a squeeze and breaking out. So squeeze has fired now the last 2 days, which means we could really be heading for another pretty good upside run on things. So we'll keep an eye on it and we'll see how S&P performs, but it's moving pretty well. And if we look at, just to get an idea, stochastic momentum is just pointing straight up. It does not show any signs of weakening. And even when it starts to roll, you have a little bit of time that we keep going up. So on this break here, it looks pretty similar to what it looked like back in here. So you have maybe a couple more days before we start to see some flattening on it. One thing I wanted to point out as well, if you take a look at the 1 year chart, maybe it's a weekly. Let me see if this, yeah, it's a weekly. So here's a weekly regression line that goes back nearly 3 years on it. So you can see the center regression line here, and you can see the outline, and we are right at the top of that. Doesn't mean we can't ride it further, but we're right at the top of that regression line. So we still have some more room to go. Let's see what happens. Everything still looks good for S&P. I don't see anything turning over. The only thing that makes me worried is you've got a new high today and you're continuing to go higher. So we're just marching higher all morning without any let up on things. We're marching higher, but here's RSI, here's previous highs. And, here's the previous high. We're below that. Here's a high back here. We're below that. So RSI, while it is rising, it's not at the same level that it was. And if you look at this, it's a down-sloping RSI. So you're hitting new highs on lower RSI, which is something to be concerned about. So keep an eye on that. And then if we look at the volume aspects of it, I mean, this sell-off obviously was pretty strong, but you're hitting a new high yesterday on the weakest volume of the entire week. I don't know where today is going to land. And that, this previous high here had much higher volume than the last high we had. And even back in here, this was not a lot of really good volume on new highs, but yet it continues to plow higher. So anyway, what do I know on this thing? It's all craziness. NASDAQ is down today, and that's primarily because your FANG stocks are weaker. And that's what's moving the markets. It's all in 6 to 7 stocks is really what's propelling most of the market higher. If we look at the number of stocks above their 50-day moving average, it's now 50%. So on the S&P, we've just today we're hitting 50%. Now it's an upswing, so we've come well off of the 30% low. So you are moving higher on it, but still, it was oversold. It's coming back, but only half the stocks in the S&P are even at their 50-day moving average. So again, it's all concentrated in just a few stocks. So keeping an eye on that. Let's take a look at a few things that we have on, and we've got Apple here today. So if we take a quick look at Apple, we get their symbol right, we're good. Taking a look at Apple, this is our double calendar This thing should be in good shape. We'll be rolling today. And looks like when we roll out on this one, we'll get about a 50-cent credit on Apple, unless the market sells off a bit. Then we may get some additional credit for that. So looking good on Apple. We'll continue to just wind that thing down. Apple made its nice strong move up into here, broke the downtrend on Apple. And you could even slide this thing up here. It doesn't really matter. It's still breaking that downtrend with nice Mobo launching there. And the only thing I'm concerned about, again, is you are well into the squeeze. This looks like to be about 8 to 9 days now. That's getting long. It's starting to tip. We'll see what happens with Apple, but I think you're getting long on some of these stocks. Same thing when you take a look at Amazon. Had a really nice run, got long in the squeeze, starting to tip over. Doesn't mean we can't rally and continue to do something, but looked like it started to reverse there as well on Amazon. We'll see what happens today. Tesla's propping a lot of things up. So Tesla's really flying. It's new into its squeeze, only 3 days. So Tesla's really propping things up pretty well. Facebook has a little bit of a reversal pattern there, but firing long on the squeeze today. So Facebook looks good. Microsoft super long into this squeeze. It's, is it going to get tired? Is it going to sell? I don't know. But you're starting to get some turnover here on Microsoft. Apple we looked at, and then Netflix squeeze fire today as well. So Netflix now up to this downtrend line and breaking through today. So interesting spot for Netflix here to keep an eye on things. And then lastly, let's look at Google. And Google, same thing, long into this move. It started to really pull down and roll over a bit here, and just some sideways action, which is good. It's good for the stock. We get a little bit of energy back. Might get some tightening and get some energy so that it can explode once again. I think you've got things setting up with these little bit of a downtick in the big boys, and S&P still holding its own. When the momentum and energy comes back into those, really could fire this market up. Something strong. I like DraftKings in here. It's right at my downtrend line. Let's see what happens, but it looks good. Looks like you're getting everything firing here for DraftKings, getting the MAs to start to stack up. So DraftKings, something to keep a look at. Airbnb. So we're in Airbnb right now. We have a 145, 150 on that expires next week. It's now entering a squeeze. Things have tailed off a bit, but the stochastics and RSI is still solid. So I still like Airbnb here in the squeeze. Nice sideways momentum. This thing just continues to build these ranges up, consolidate, a little up, consolidate. That's all good looking. And then this uptrend line still holding super on it. So I think Airbnb goes higher. So we're already pretty profitable on this thing. We've got a at least a 50% winner in Airbnb. We may go some more. Looking at crazy stuff here, AMC really starting to dip and turn over. I think maybe that run has had its has met its match. I don't know. We'll see what happens on AMC. In here, Boeing looks good. So you're starting to get this reversal on the squeeze momentum. You've got the reversal on the MACD. This was a great spot to get in. We're in on this thing with a fly, and we did the 245, 255, 265, and that thing's up nicely. It's up what, 80 cents on a $2 play. So looking pretty good. up 40%. So we get a 40% winner in Boeing, and I really like the way it looks. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see what happens today on it, but Boeing looks good. I know some people are in BeyondTech. What do I have in that thing? BeyondTech just have, I sold those puts. So we sold the 225 puts here, which was the at the money play in BeyondTech. I liked the reversal we saw on here. It's fair, but it's stacked. So this pullback could be good as things tighten up a bit. Let's see if we can get another leg higher on BeyondTech. But overall, that's pretty interesting. So there's your uptrend on it. And until we break that, pretty good. And looking at the MOBO, we're green. PSAR reversed here. It's still up. It hasn't reversed. And stochastic momentum still pointing up, but starting to flatten. But nothing to get too worried about yet. We'll see. If it starts to turn over, well, we'll cash out and we'll keep the win. And we'll keep that moving. So there's our BeyondTech. We also have, let's skip all the way down to cost. Where do you go to jumps on here? So I'm going to take a quick look at Costco. This thing looks really, really good. You got squeeze firing. Looks good. Here's that butterfly that we have. We're right in the middle. This butterfly, it's perfect. We're at an 85% winner already through today. So Costco looks really, really good. I'm fine with where we are. Nothing to do there. Etsy. We have a put spread in this. We have the 160 put down here. That's obviously going to expire worthless today. It's down to 2 cents. May take it off, may just leave it on, and let's let that thing expire on Etsy today. So Etsy, perfect. Nothing to do there. We have another wheel winner for us. Love. I'm still just, it boggles my mind what's going on in the airlines overall, and Love. I still think we're getting some bottoming in here, but it just continues to creep lower. I'm not opposed to it here. I'm going to roll, and we have the 60 put. We can roll that out. It's going to be a really small credit to roll it out. But we have 7 more days. So we don't have anything that we need to do on this right now. If we get assigned, we get assigned. If we get assigned, it's a very good chance that I'm going to write another put and down here around 50 or so, and start looking to average that thing a bit if it gets assigned. If not, we have 7 days. Let's see what happens on Love. It's been a disappointing play so far. With the airlines are packed. Couple of people have canceled flights because of lack of staff, but the airlines themselves, here's American, right? Here's Delta. They're not quite as bad as Love, but as Southwest, but they're all just selling off of their highs with everything opening. Now you've got the cruise lines that have also done the same thing. So I think it's still a good opportunity to look to get in. I think as things start to really open up, it's summer vacation time. Airlines should really be doing well. Let's take a look at MasterCard real quick. So here on MasterCard, you get the squeeze that just fired yesterday. So squeeze fired yesterday. Everything looks pretty good. Another up a day or two, your MAs are all stacked. We have a butterfly on this one. It's down just a fraction. So nothing to do there except make some money. Netflix, here we go. So Netflix, we have a fly on. In fact, this is not my fly. This is the Gabe's fly on this one. So it's blown through the center, blew through the top. It's blown completely through this butterfly, which is fine because it was a broken wing. And it's up nicely. So a nice little trade. Still has several days to go. I'm a lot shorter term than everyone else, but these are longer fly, I think, that Gabe has. So it's all good. So far that thing is in good shape. Here's that Nike trade. Again, we expected around a $6-7 expected move, and we got a $20 expected move. It is what it is, but the longs gained and the shorts lost a bit. So right now it's down like $200. So I'm not worried about this double calendar yet. If it continues to fly, we'll unwind it. If it pulls back at all, we'll see what happens. But the market's up really strong today. We'll go quick. Let's go quickly here. Peloton. Here's Peloton. Squeeze fired on this as well. And we're in Peloton with a butterfly centered at 130. So we've got a nice butterfly that we put on this thing. I think it was 120, 130, 135. So there's our butterfly, and this thing is up really nicely right now. So it's up decently, and it's just entering the base of the fly on it. So we're right at the base of this fly, and if we roll up in here, we're going to have a pretty nice win. So we have a week to go on Peloton. Let's see how it handles. PayPal. We're in PayPal with a 270, 280 call spread. This thing expires not for quite a while. It's a nice profitable trade. It's all good. We're well above that spread. We also did a zebra trade on Ride. So we bought 2 calls around in the money, and we sold 1 at the money call for a 0 extrinsic back ratio. Let's see how that works out for us. Right now it's down a couple bucks. So we want this thing to stay above 11. We'd like to see this thing, continue to move up. It's a sketchier trade for me, because I don't love Ride as much, but I do like the chart. So I'm ignoring the fundamental piece of this trade. And as long as we stay really on this basic path here, we'll stay in. So we've got 21 days on this, so plenty of time to be right, and we're in good shape. And you're starting to see the 8 moving up over the 21. It's had a squeeze. It's in a squeeze with a lot of negative momentum, but we take a look at the PSAR. It reversed here. Stochastic momentum is pointing up solidly here. So we still have the momentum on our side. So nothing making me want to get out of this Ride piece anytime soon. SBH, this was a little longer term put. So we sold a put at 20 on this one. We're in good shape. Doesn't expire for a little while. So nothing to do on that. Snap. Looking good. Squeeze fired today. So we got squeeze firing, everything stacked and looking ready to rock and roll on Snap. We have the 65, 75, 85 spread on this one. So we need this thing to move a bit more, but it's up already with a pretty nice little winner. So we're good on Snap. SPY, we will be rolling our double calendar shorts out today. That's still looking pretty good for us. The other thing on SPY is we do have a butterfly that expires on Monday. And this is another fly that we did, nothing to show here on it, but we're doing these 2 to 4 day flies on SPY with the center at the expected move, and then the short and long on the symmetrical fly, $2 away, something I got from Don Kaufman. We had one winner already on that this week, and we put this one on for 45 cents, and it's already at 60 cents. So we are already up 33% on this thing in one day. So it's already a 33% winner on it. And if the market continues to move higher, it's going to be a nice winner for us. We'll see what happens. So that's where we are on SPY. And then let's wrap up quickly here. Tilray, we're in this one. It's imperceptible move on here, but I still think things look to be reversing off the bottom. But this Tilray trade expires next week. We sold the 16. It's at 18 and change. It's all good for now. We've got a 50% winner already on Tilray. I did buy some more VIX call spreads, the 2025. You can see here too on the day, VIX down a little bit more, but VIX being down at this level here, I still have the 2025 call spread here. So let's see what happens with that one. And then I also bought a 15 call out about 81 days. And I'm going to do that every single Monday when this thing is below 15. I'm going to buy more and more and more of the VIX on this. And I may own quite a bit because this market seems to not want to back off at all. All right, last two, Igor, and then I'll be done. Walmart here, we have a 140, 141 in out. This thing sold off pretty hard, and then it's coming back up. We still have 14 days, so it's a little bit of a loser, but it's not too bad on Walmart. And then Win, we have the 123 put on Win. It expires today, so unless something happens, we should be in pretty good shape. We may look to take this off later in the day if things are holding on for Win, but it's not letting go of its value yet. So Win has not shed any of that value that it's in. So, all right, well, there's where we are. So S&P up today. You can see it's just been a steady march higher and a few ticks negative, but not much of anything. Advanced decliners here. Well up, 300 advancers on the S&P. So things look pretty good. And then, and anything that's, I don't want to look at the squeeze, let's just take a look, see if anything fired on the squeeze today. And you got quite a handful, but nothing that I really liked. Apollo Global, good. I don't know anything about it. Brookfield Access Management, don't know. Okay, Facebook, squeeze firing today, very interesting. First Solar, also squeeze firing today. Look at that thing taking off. That might be an opportunity. KMX, I'm not jumping into. MGM. Schwab looks really, really interesting. Look at that reversal on the MACD. Everything really stacking here for Schwab to make a run. So I like Schwab. If we take a look, it's already above its cloud reversal signal a couple days ago. Schwab looks good. Stomo pointing up. I think Schwab could be a nice momentum play. Snap, we're already in. And I don't know much about Vista Outdoors, but it's already doing really well. So we looked at Snap. So I think I covered what you guys wanted. It was the only stock that anyone was looking at as well. A lot of stuff is up today, and keeping an eye on work. Still nothing good looking on here. I'm pretty, I have a lot of buying power still because I have so many butterflies on, did not use a lot of buying power. But I'm going to hang tight. So I'm not adding a whole lot more. Might look for a wheel trade today. And we'll see. So let's talk about our double calendars. So let me see what I can do here to look at these, since everything's on Tastyworks. But let's look at the SPY. In fact, I'm going to share. Okay, I gotta get rid of the Zoom here. So let's look at Apple. So Apple's the first one that we'll take a look at. So when I look at Apple, I gotta get this Zoom stuff out of the way. I'm going to share a spreadsheet with you guys. All right, so you see this little spreadsheet. This is kind of where I'm just tracking some of these double calendars. So you can see on Apple, let's go down to Apple. So here's where we started. So we bought into Apple, and I'm just doing these all at a one contract basis right now as I get more comfortable with these. So here's where we are on Apple. We bought in on Apple with these for $8.80. We've already rolled once. So that first roll here already netted us. In fact, I'll keep track of that separately here too, just to see, get a sense of what we've got. So we bought it at 880. We've already rolled for 44-cent winner previously, so we're down to 836. We have 10 rolls to go. So we're going to see how that happened, how we work. So if we're looking at today on this thing, if we're going to roll right now, we're going to get about 46 cents for the roll on Apple. And I'll take a look at Apple and see if we can bring that over. But 46 more cents will take us to about $1 down, so it'll be worth about a $7 cost basis. So this thing should take us down below the 8 to probably 780, 790 would be the cost of that. And to close, the longs right now, I can get approximately $9 for the longs. So I'm going to make at least $2 on the longs if I would get out now. And then obviously we would have to close these shorts out. And by closing those, it's going to cost me about $3 right now. So I'm going to make overall, just to close this position out, it's going to cost me about I'm going to make about $5 on this to close it out, and my cost is around 7. So we'll keep rolling Apple and knocking the cost basis down. The Nike one might be just a short-term play with the big move in it, but otherwise, I mean, Nike, we paid $8.30. We've already taken in a pretty hefty credit. We will potentially look at this. We don't have to roll for a week because these are next week's. If we rolled the shorts, we'd have a little bit of a credit still to roll the shorts out a week. We got to wait till these things decay a little bit more. But we've already taken our cost down to $3.69, and we can roll for another credit. So we're going to take in some more money, potentially knock this thing down to almost $3. And to close out on Nike right now, we'll get about $1.50 or so. So we got a little bit of a loss on Nike. And then if we look at SPY, on this one, we spent $15 to get into this. We've already knocked it down quite a bit here to $7.56. Our total credits on this one have been $7.77. So we have cut this thing in half with plenty of time to go until July 23. We have roughly a month left on this to roll. So we're going to take a look at SPY right now. And on the SPY roll for today, I'm going to take in about 33 cents to roll. So we'll knock this thing down a little bit further on the roll and see how we do. So we've already cut this thing in half right now. If we were, and our total cost is $7.56. And if we close out the position, it's $7.80 credit. So if we had closed the whole thing today, we'll make money. But I'm going to keep rolling. So overall, the SPY position is up. This is the one we've had the longest and the most chance to roll and knock down our cost basis. So this is kind of how I keep track of these in my account, keeping track of them on spreadsheet. And our cost base is 756. To close it right now is over 780 on the day. So that's a good looking piece right now, that already in really just 2 weeks, we're already making a profit. If we continue to roll, the goal is to get this thing down as close to zero as we can, and then we decide whether we want to close it out or keep going. So stay tuned today as I roll those out, and we'll see where we go from there. So all good on the day. Our accounts up a little bit today, mainly because I have negative delta again, and the market will just not sell off, which maybe I'm crazy keeping it there. My unrealized, it's a little bit of an unrealized losses, the mostly all realized gains. So if we turn over it all next week, which possibly we could, I think it's a great time right now to stay just, again, a little negative while everything else is just so hot as we're running. So Igor, if you want to jump in, you can. I don't really have a whole lot of other stuff to share. I'm not looking to add a lot of trades, just adjusting, and we'll be cashing out some winners today. And the MES trades, as always, just doing fantastically well. So we're going to close one of our MES trades out. And let me give you a quick overview of that as well. Sorry, Igor, give me a second.
Hey, Tom, no worries. One of the things that came up, I did see some questions. You have this system going with selling the micro futures. You're selling out of the money puts, 10% out of the money every single day, and you have a, I guess you have an inventory of short puts that you're rolling forward. As you close one, you initiate another one, and you keep rolling it forward. Maybe you want to spend a couple of minutes just to kind of go over the basics, the idea of what you're trying to accomplish, or what you're doing, what you're selling, and when you go to cover, which put you go to cover. Is it the most profitable, or is it the one that is closest?
Great. Let's do one live then. So let's get out of this live. So here is, again, I trade track everything. So every single trade that I have on is all in a spreadsheet here. So these are all of the trades that I have on. Let's take a look at the MES trade. So this is what we have on for right now. And then we'll go to my account and we'll place this trade, and you guys can watch it. So what I'm going to do here on MES is I can track when I put these on, and here's the oldest one sitting down here, but it doesn't mean that's the most profitable. But I'm going to take a trade off today. So I'm going to take one of these trades is coming off, and you can see they're all entered at different prices, because as that market moves around, sometimes on a sell-off, you get some really fantastic premium. And also when the expiration is new, you get the best premium. As you start to pick strikes in that same expiration, you can see you're starting to, get less and less premium, because you're getting less time value in here. So by the time I get down to the end, man, you're getting 15 to 20 bucks on it. And then all of a sudden, boom, back up, because I now move to the next 60-day cycle, which is this August, the August one. And then bam, look, you're back up into the upper 20s. So those get to be more profitable. So as you put these on every single day, that it starts to drop off, a bit for you, because obviously you're not getting as much of the time value in the premium that you have here. Plus, as these strikes move around, on a sell-off, it might be drop, 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 boom. We get a couple really good days after a sell-off of some really nice premium. If the market then flies up for a day, you're going to get a little less premium that day. And then it's harder and harder to get that premium. And I'm doing 2 contracts in here right now, just to give you a sense of what you're looking at here. So, and to figure out what it's worth, typically I will multiply that by 10. Which gives me the value of what I got in. So you can see that most of these I'm putting on somewhere from 200 to 200, 240 bucks is the premium I take in on the majority of these. Now, bear in mind too that we have been in a bull trend that's only had about 3 down days in like a year, I feel like. So the premium is not as great as it was, and it's still a great profitable trade. So let's see, is the oldest trade here, the 3760, is that going to be the one that we're going to close today? I closed the most profitable, not the oldest. So let's switch over and take a look at the Tastyworks account here. And now you can see my Tastyworks account. So let's take a look here at what we have. And here's our MES trades. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at the most profitable oldest trade that I have on. And remember, we talked about the 3760. Well, that's the oldest trade, but it also happens to be the farthest out and the most profitable, second most profitable trade. The next one's the 3770, which was the next trade, the next oldest trade. So these are pretty much a wash either way on those. So I'll look to close this one out. And we're going to look to get about $3.10, put in an order for that one. And we'll see what happens on that. But this is the one I'm looking to get out of here. So you can see I've got that order working right now on it. So that's what this is what we're looking to do. So I'm looking to take that off. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a new trade on MES here, and I'm going about, again, 10% out. So we're at 42.66, 10% out of the money. Let's take a look and see what that would look like. So let's take a look here, and we're going to go out to 60 days, but not over. So we're going to still be in this August 20 time period. 38.40 is roughly the area that I want to sell today. That's my 10% out of the money. It's going to give me roughly a 10 delta call there. And we'll add 2 of these, see if we can get $19.50, and we'll place an order for that and see if we can get filled here. So we're looking to get this 19.25. We're looking to get that one here. So we're going to sell out around 19.25, and I'm going to look to close at 3.20. I might have to walk this thing a bit. If the market picks up selling, we might have to adjust. If we go to $3.15, we'll let that thing percolate for a bit and see what happens. I'm not going to change my order here, because I think if we get some selling, that'll keep going down. I might have to move it to $3.20. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time today. So that's how I work it. So I'm going to take one off for about $3. I'm going to add another one for 19, and the one I'm taking off for $3, I put that thing on at 24.75. So I will look to what is it? 24.75. If I close it at 3.15, and it's going to give me about an 87% premium capture. I'll make about $2.16 on that trade. So hopefully that made sense. And then let's take a quick look I'll share with you little bit more of my sheet. Okay, so again, I'm tracking all of these individually. This is everything that I've closed in the month of June so far. So you can see the trades that have been closed every single day, yesterday, day before, last Friday, Thursday, blah, 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 blah. So this is every day for the month. You can see I'm up a little over 4,000, 4,185, and today we'll be adding another couple $100 to that. So it's up 4,185. The average premium capture for me has been about 83 cents, and the average profit in each one's been about $2.33 on this. And I think today's, I don't know how many more days we got, 25th. We got 3 more days, so we got 3 more days of these. So hopefully we're going to add $200 today, and we'll add another $600-700. So we should get $5 grand in this month on this. You can see I was doing one contract as I was practicing it. So the previous month was all one contract. Still made $1,400 on one contract, but now we've got it rocking and rolling here. So that's been good for us. So even this 4185 was still 2 of the contracts we closed this month were the single contract piece. So that's it. And for me, I track every single trade here. All my wheel trades are tracked separately. Anything I'm doing 100 ETA, these 60 DTE MES, everything has its own tab for me, so I can track every single thing that I do by strategy, as well as I have an overall sheet for the month, so I know how much I've made for the month on the account. So hopefully that's helpful, gives you a little insight.